Whenever there's a delay between an episode of a series and the next one, and whenever I get around to recording the next episode after a bit of a delay, I usually have a bit of a reason for it. It's usually something like, I was sick, I was traveling, I was whatever. I'll be honest, that's not the case with the slight delay between the last episode of this series and this one. The reason for that delay is because I'm feeling a little bittersweet about it. I'm really enjoying this series of Software Inc. and part of me doesn't really want to wrap it up, but part of me is also like, yeah, we've kind of done everything. $6.3 billion, another console that has gone out, another phone that is on its way, our founders on the brink of retirement, and obviously the last stab with just over 666 bugs that have been fixed just there. We are very much reaching sort of the end of Nerdrosoft, and so if you haven't picked it up already, if this is the first episode of the series that you're watching, then I got some bad news. This is going to be the last episode of Software Inc. for this 2025 run of Nerdrosoft. There might be another little something with Software Inc. coming up later in the year. I'm not 100% sure, but it's possible. It won't be a Nerdrosoft series. It'll be something kind of different, but if not, then this will be the last episode of Nerdrosoft, the last episode of Software Inc., I should say, until 2026, which is weird to say out loud because I feel like we've said that before with previous yearly series. Anyway, I have some things I would like to do before we wrap things up. Obviously, Nerdrosoft Nebula 2 needs to go out the door. It's very nearly done, which is amazing news. I'm going to let it sort of tick over. It's going to be a 2024 release, at least hopefully. Obviously, the last stab is December 2023, and I was kind of thinking, as much as I don't want to mess around too much with a bunch more expansions, we never really dabbled in the idea of creating expansions for something like Sports Ball, which, I mean, Sports Ball 7 is still relatively popular. Sports Ball 8 just came out, so maybe we do something there. We can also do expansions for something like Notebook, which is an office software with 289,000 people using it. So I kind of want to start there. I want to make a content pack. We can do some clip art to get some better word processing and presentation stuff. We can do some slide templates and we can do some spreadsheets, because why not? And then when it comes to the teams working on this, I guess what we could do is we can't give it to Management Notebook, but we can give it to the office software team and they will probably be fine doing this. I would imagine it might stress them out a little bit, but I'm hoping for the best. We'll use Pixel 13 to make this happen, and we'll go ahead and just start developing this thing. I think we're not going to do any new fonts or audio, which is great. We'll just go ahead and start working on, what did I just call it? I realized I didn't even name it, did I? The bonus upgrade. Can I rename this? I totally can. What do we want to call this? I don't even know what was in it. You know what? We'll call it the clip art pack. We'll just do clip art pack. I don't know what's in it. I got a little bit lazy on that one, but clip art pack is totally fine. I'm going to make that a top priority because I'd like to see how it does. And I would also like to go and have a look at Sports Ball 8 because I think making an expansion for this could be kind of interesting. So it is a sports game. We'll add more teams. I guess we'll just go ahead and add, wow, I can add a lot of teams. I can add 20 more teams, which is kind of amazing. We can do a little bit more with gameplay here just to try and bring that up, which apparently we can't go any further with it. You know what? That's fine. We could do some graphics. I would like 100% interest. I don't think I'm going to get it though. So maybe we won't. We'll just do 2D editor. We'll just use Echo 10 for this, and the teams on this guy can be, let's have a look at our game devs. Everybody is doing something right now. So I'm just going to give it to Game Dev 1 because I know that they're pretty good. So Game Dev 1 can work on this expansion. It is for a sports game. I don't know what to call it. It's in my head, it's like the FIFA games or the EA, what is it? It's not FIFA whatever anymore, is it? It's like EA Sports FC or something like that. But football or soccer is usually called the beautiful game. So I think we'll just go with something like that. So we'll just call it the beautiful pack is what we'll go for. That'll be totally fine. We'll start developing that as well. And I'm just curious to see, given that somehow Sports Ball is kind of popular, I'm curious to see if it just ends up selling, basically. And then I figure what we can also do once good old Sergeant Stabby Face 4, The Last Stab, or just The Last Stab goes out, I'm hoping that we're going to see an expansion or two for that. I'm hoping we'll see some good things from it. But for the most part, I kind of just want to see how the clip art pack and the beautiful pack happen to go. Now, the beautiful pack, thankfully, is not going to take all that long to do, which is a beautiful thing. And I'm hoping we can maybe get it out around the same time. It's going to be September now. We might be able to get this thing out around the same time as, or even sooner than good old Last Stab. That might be kind of a good idea there. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and market it. I'm not going to do press releases. I'm just going to do press builds. Oh, wait, no, I forgot about this, didn't I? How have I got 25 episodes into this series and now I'm forgetting to do release dates? That's great. Oh, that's a problem. Research Systems Night just lost their leader and is no longer under HR management. Okay, we can do something about that. Let's get ourselves I guess we could use all of this. We don't need automation. We'll just begin looking. We're going to have a look at good old Systems Night. Compatibility is fine. You can do HR and multitasking. So Mary Webb, welcome to Nerdrosoft. Going to be one of the last people that I hire manually, which is kind of sad, but that's all right. We'll deal with it. I'm going to change you out to be a team leader, which should solve that problem. Now, when it comes to products that are running out of stock and losing sales, that's because I have gone through my updates and I have cut it down a little bit. I've only got things going back as far as 2020 that we're maintaining with the updates team. What I think I might do, though, is go back about as far. I'm gonna do anything that has more than like 5,000 people using it, which apparently includes Nebula, which is interesting. That includes Sergeant Stabby Face 3. That includes FrameOS 3 and Space Command 4 and FrameOS 2. That should be fine. Hopefully people will start. That was none of the things that people are complaining about. You know what? It's fine. We're not gonna worry too much about it. It's totally fine. What I would like to do is go ahead and put out a press build of The Last Stab. We do want it to be as successful as it possibly can be. The clip art pack looks like it's really nicely coming together. I do realize that the Office team probably doesn't have too many. Oh, maybe it does. I was going to say it doesn't have a lot of 2D artists, but they seem like they're doing just fine. So we'll not worry too much about it. Oh, wow. We just lost the frame project leader. Interesting. Maybe we do have to hire someone else. That's totally fine. So we're going to be looking for somebody here that does not need socialization, but does need automation. You also don't need HR. And I guess we'll just do, just a leader is fine and a programmer is fine. It doesn't really matter what your secondary is, but we'll begin looking. We'll sort by skill. You can do automation. You can do multitasking. So Angel Parsons is going to be hired to our frame management team. So welcome to the company. And then all I need to do is go to management frame, go to manage roles, and take you off of everything but being a leader. So that should sort things out. I don't even know if I do need to do it that way, but we'll get you sorted out either way. And hopefully that'll work. Hopefully we'll be okay. And hopefully we're not going to have too many more things that need me to go in and manually hire people. Now, the beautiful pack is done. It's in beta. It is currently September. We have October, November. I think we're just going to say December of 2023 for the release on this. Immediately 6,600 followers. Immediately send out a press build. We'll see what happens. I do think we could market this. I think that's probably fine. I'm not interested in a press release, but hyping I'm okay with. We'll give that to marketing 4, and that should be all right. It would be nice if we could get a press release going, but they're doing enough as it is with The Last Stab that I really don't want to do that. So we're going to try and avoid it. Also, over 850 bugs fixed on this thing is kind of a big deal. That's not bad. And almost 50,000 followers on the beautiful pack. So we'll go ahead and get something like 150,000 copies of this thing printed just to make sure that everything's all right. The clip art pack, I'm going to give that to the 2D editor team just while we're here, because we should have some decent 2D artists on there that get it done nice and quickly, which it looks like they're absolutely doing. And I think what I'll do with this is say it's going to release. I'm going to do a really quick. No, you know what? We'll do December on this as well. We'll do December just to make sure that everything's fine. We'll give it a little bit of time. We can promote it. We can send out a press build, and we'll also do maybe 200,000 copies of this thing just to make sure that everything's okay. There's also no bugs to fix in it. So this is purely going to be a marketing window, which I'm completely okay with. Not really too worried about that. Nebula 2, 99.6% done. And there's definitely a possibility we're going to see 1,000 bugs fixed on the last stab. Let's send out another press build of that just to see if we can slow things down. And it looks like for the most part, have we lost another team leader? We have not. Well, that's fine. We also have cooks complaining about not being able to find stoves, but I think they'll be all right. I think that'll be totally fine, and I'm just not really going to worry too much about it. Oh, now this is nice to see. Xbox 360 just did $11.5 million in sales. That's new. We just shot up from 51,900 or 51 million. I should say 51,900,000 to 68 million. So have we just seen a sudden increase in sales of this console? If we look at the details, no, not well. Yes, sort of from here to here. Yes. Are we looking at something similar for the controller? If we look at the details here, kind of, definitely, sort of, kind of, which is totally fine by me. Okay. Well, that's progress. That is good. I've also just noticed that if I wanted to, I could go into some of my products here. So for example, Voxel 6, I can turn off stock notifications for, so that we no longer get told about Voxel 6 having issues, or Pixel 9, for example. I don't know that I feel like doing that for everything, but that's probably something to keep in mind for the next series of Software Inc. I feel like it's a little bit too late to worry about that. I will say, it is exciting. We do have Notebook 8 on the way in February. It could release sooner, but I doubt it. Plumbob 8 in January, just a couple of months away as well. And that looks to be about all we're doing for 2024. We do have Voxel 10 this December as well, which actually, all things considered, means December is stacked for Nerdrosoft. Not as many followers in the last stab as I would like, which is a little bit disappointing. It would be nice if there were more than just 37,500. But 1,000 bugs fixed has me feeling pretty good. I'm going to say 250,000 copies of the last stab is what we're going to aim for. We should be able to manage that no problem. And I guess we can, wow, clip art pack, almost 200,000, almost 150,000 on the beautiful pack as well. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. People seem excited about their expansions here. Nebula 2, 100% as well. It is the tiniest, it's rounding up is what it's doing, but it is the tiniest little bit away from being done there. And we have some, what's the word I'm looking for? Salary requests. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know why I couldn't come up with the word salary, but there we go. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get clip art pack out there. 220,000 people are excited about this one. It is 5s across the board. I don't know that we need a marketing campaign for this. I'll be quite honest with you, but I might just have a look. Let's give it a marketing 2, and we'll give them, I don't know, $20,000 should be fine for that. Let's move the, I guess the beautiful pack. Well, no, that's going out as well. It's the marketing for clip art pack that I want to move up to the top here. If I can click on the right things, which apparently I can't. Move that one back to there, and that's fine. The beautiful pack is going to release as well. It is 5s across the board. Same team will go for 20,000 as the budget, and move that up to the top here as well. Now, there's no guarantees that these will make a ton of money, but I'm kind of excited to see just what they do. And I'm also really looking forward to, hopefully by the end of this month, hopefully by the end of December. Oh no, we're moving it forward now. Nebula 2, finally in beta. When did we release the original Nebula? Let's have a little bit of a look in here. Was it that far back? It was here. It was, oh, wow. Okay. September 2016. Let's go for September 2024 for Nebula 2. I think that seems fair. That's a decent little bit away. We can certainly market that. So September 2024, we will start working on a press release because that seems important to do. And we will start sending out press builds, and we will start to hype this as well because that's important, and we'll start printing it. Oh, I didn't realize this. What am I missing? What are we missing in here for this thing? Fingerprint scanners need to go into the case assemblers. Interesting. Okay, so I'm missing 4 fingerprint scanners next to my case assembly. Where are we making phones? Here? So that's making, what is this? That's the case for the phone. Oh, we don't really have room down here. Oh, I didn't think about this, did I? Okay. That slightly complicates things. I mean, I can just expand the basement, but I didn't really think about this. Let's do, what is that? 4? We need to do 5. We kind of technically need to do 6 if we want people to get around the machines. I'm going to do 5 and sort of gamble on this. And we're going to go like this is what we're going to do. We can merge those spaces, and then you are going to move back to, I want to say there is what I'm thinking. That's not actually going to work. I did need to go 6 here is what I needed to do. So we need to go there and merge this, move you to that spot. We'll copy it, and we need to change the output to a fingerprint scanner, do something like this. And then I need all of those conveyors to go into this machine. So doing that should be totally fine. It's a little bit ugly. It's going to be a little bit of a bottleneck, but I'm not really super worried about that, to be quite honest. That should be all right. That should work. Should be everything we need. We could even go so far as to take those guys out, put this here and there, and do that so you can still get underneath this little space, which seems good. And so we should now be able to print Nebula 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's on assembly line 3. Let's say, I don't know, 100,000 copies of Nebula seems totally fine. I think we can manage that, and I think that'll be all right. I don't necessarily know how we're going to do with an Xbox 360 and the Xbox 360 controller, but I've realized that both of those have been assigned to the updates team, so that's maybe why they've started selling, which is fine. I'm honestly kind of okay with that. That's pretty good. We also have, I realized, the last stab going out this month, so release it. What? You can't release this before you've released all operating systems it supports. Come again? Oh no! You're kidding me. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I need to delay this by like a year, well, 9 months. Wow, okay. That's unexpected. I didn't think about that, because this, I suppose, is going to support, let me guess, Nebula 2. Oh. Okay. That seems like a weird, I understand it from a gameplay point of view, but also I feel like I should be able to just release this and it will just work for Nebula 2 when it'll just be there automatically when Nebula 2 I don't know that. I understand. I understand why that is the way it is. That's just really unfortunate that the last stab now needs to be delayed by 9 months. Okay. Oh, dude, that's bad. That's really bad. Okay. We'll go ahead and change the release date. We have 9 months to release it. It's going to make people unfollow. It made a lot of people unfollow. Understandably so. Let's start looking at some press releases here. And you know what? All of my marketing teams are going to work to get this press release done, because we need people to care about this. We need people to be excited about this. It is going to lose all of its followers. I need everyone on the hyping for this thing. That needs to be the top priority right now, because otherwise we are in so much trouble. And we might still be in so much trouble. I might have just we might be going out with a whimper instead of a bang, but man, that's, did not think about that. We could have brought Nebula 2 forward. To be fair, that is absolutely an option that we have. Yeah, okay. It's really, really unfortunate. Leela Green just retired. Wasn't Leela? Yeah, Leela was in charge of the Pixel project. Okay, so we need another project leader, which is fine. We'll go for you because you seem pretty good. Lynn Salinas, we'll get you into, I guess, the Pixel management is what we'll go for. And can I just assign, like, can I get Lynn? No, I can't. Okay, that's totally fine. I'm genuinely a little bit upset. I'm a little bit upset, but it's okay. Totally fine. We're not going to let it ruin anything. We will make this work. We will be okay. It's just another 9 months before. That's disappointing. It's really disappointing. All right, whatever. Let's see how we're doing. So obviously the Beautiful Pack and Clip Art Pack have gone out. We're marketing those. Xbox 360 just dropped down massively. Okay. And the controller is doing fine. That's all right. We did also just release Voxel 10, which is outstanding and inspiring. Needs to make about $1 million to break even. We can manage that. Sports Ball 8, is that what we just made those expansions for? If we have a look at the Beautiful Pack, yeah. We might see some money from this. It's done 5.8 million last month. I'm kind of curious to see what happens here with the Beautiful Pack. 4.2 million. Okay. We'll give you a fixed rate. That's fine. 4.2 million on the Beautiful Pack, 3.2 on the Clip Art Pack, Xbox 360, 8.9 million. All right. Yeah, that's, man, I'm so disappointed. I should have paid more attention. It's completely on me, but I'm still a little bit disappointed that we've had to do that. That's, it's really disappointing. The good news is Voxel made some money. Sports Ball 8 somehow just did 6 million, which is wild. I guess I'm okay with that. Do we want to do another expansion for it? Not really. There's a part of me is really tempted to just sit and wait for September to come around so we can see what happens with The Last Stab and Nebula 2 and just go from there. Just wait until we retire and call it a day. I feel like an idiot. So much so that part of me is sitting here like, oh, I could just restart the episode and be like, oh my God, guys, I just figured something. Like, here's the thing, right? I could let my ego get the better of me. I could just stop the recording, reload up the save, right? Restart back in, what was it, August of 2023 and be like, start the video like, so I've realized that we have, this is my impression of me starting a video. I've realized between the episodes that we have a problem. I've been reading your comments and you've realized it too. We can't release The Last Stab until Nerdrosoft Nebula 2 goes out the door. So we're going to have to make the difficult decision to delay The Last Stab until Nebula 2 is released. I'm so smart and figured that out on my own, without making any mistakes that would lead me to realize this in an unfortunate circumstance. Was that convincing? Was that a good impression of me introing a video? That should have been. I am me, but needless to say, I'm not going to do that. That was also my intro music, in case you're wondering what the that's, yeah. This is, this last episode's a little bit off the rails, huh? It's a little bit off the rails. It's fine. All right, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to make, and I know we said we weren't going to do this, all right? I know that we said we weren't going to do this, but we're going to make another expansion for Sally Stabby Face because it's still relatively, in fact, I'm tempted to say Space Command 6. It still has 3.3 million active users, but we're going to do one more for Sally Stabby Face because we have time now. We have a couple of months until the final game of the franchise comes out. So I'm thinking we're just going to make sort of a kind of like a teaser for what the final game is going to be. So we're just going to call this one Stabageddon. All right. That's is there 2 G's in Armageddon? I think there's 1. It doesn't matter. It's Stabageddon is what we're going to call this. And it's going to introduce one new playable character. We're going to do some cutscene stuff in here, which is going to be big on graphics and story. We're going to do some new dialogue, which is going to be good for story and gameplay. We're going to do, let's see, something here to bring up the graphics a little bit, and some audio for the gameplay. 99%, I think it's fine. We'll not worry too much about that. Apparently we're missing a level 2 3D artist across Game Dev 1. Oh, that's why. We'll go ahead and do that. The editor in question will go for Pixel 13. The 3D editor is Voxel 10, and their audio tool is Echo 10, which is fine. So we're going to make Stabageddon is what we're going to do. And I'll be honest, I'm really tempted. We did the Final Frontier, right? Hold on. What was my release dates for these expansions? So Space Command 6 had the Commander's Epilogue, which was like, what was that? The sort of end story for Space Command 6. Deep Space was like going way out into deep space, which led into the Final Frontier, where we had like the Star Trek crossover thing that I talked about. Let's do another one because of how well these did and because Space Command 6 is still popular. But instead of doing the Final Frontier, we're going to go to Space Command 6. We're going to say expansion pack, and Game Dev 2 can work on this because they don't have a lot going on, I guess. And we'll do the same right here. We're going to say Beyond the Frontier is what we're calling it. All right. So the last one was reaching the Final Frontier and kind of crossing that. And then this one is what's beyond the edge of the universe, right? That's I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. I don't know if that's obvious. It should be. We'll do some sprites because people like sprites. We'll do some story. We'll do some gameplay. And that should keep it really easy. That should keep it nice and simple. Pixel 13, of course, and Echo 10, of course. We'll go ahead and start developing that. And I'm just going to let them kind of work on it. It should not really take all that long for these guys to do these expansions, which is great news. It is actually going really, really quickly, which is perfect. We can aim for like a summer 2024 release on those 2 expansions. Should get us a little bit more money, which I'm fine with. And I suppose if there's one thing we can say about The Last Stab, at the very least, it's going to be really well polished. It's getting an extra 9 months of bug fixes. So we have that going for us, I guess. Oh no, this is exciting. Xbox 360 has finally made money. It has 291,000 users. I know that's not much, but it's made money. It's only 18.9 million. It's still money. Okay, it's still it's still money. There are a bunch of games being released for it. It's good. I'm happy about that. I'm definitely happy about an Xbox 360 making some money. Beyond the Frontier is about to be finished. So I think what we're going to do is it's April now. We're not going to do September. That's a month that we're reserving for something a little larger. We will do, I'm going to say June of 2024 for the release date on this. It's immediately popular. We're going to send out a press build and we are going to hype this because we might as well. And hopefully it'll be fine. We could do a press release. I think we'll pass on that. And we're just going to see what happens with this is what we'll do. We'll go ahead and promote it. We'll go ahead and start printing it. We'll say maximum of 250,000 copies. It might end up being more than that, given that it is a Space Command 6 expansion and there are 2.8 million people still playing that. We might need a little bit more than 200,000 or whatever, but we'll adjust as we need to, which is totally fine. Also, not that many bugs to fix in this kind of thing, which is always nice. Stabageddon is also ready to develop, which is great. Gonna be a little bit slower getting this one out the door, but honestly, that's fine. It's not quite as popular, which is all right, and we're being robbed, which is fine. They didn't even get inside the building, which is what we want. Bunch of complaints up here. People still having issues with places to sit. Really get no idea what's going on with that. I mean, we've talked about it before. It's something that doesn't really make sense to me because everyone does have somewhere to sit, but we'll not worry too much about it. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of the series, so I really don't care. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's about, oh wow, that just shot up to 1 million. That's impressive. That thing's wound up being kind of popular. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's do, I don't want to do this. Let's do 1 million copies. We'll print about 1 million of them. We can do 1.7 million per month. We'll print about 1 million. You know what? We'll do about 2 million because that number's climbing real fast is what we'll do. We'll print about 2 million of it. And let's see, we did sell 1.7 there. We did sell 1.9 of the Final Frontier. So Beyond the Frontier might be quite popular. It's already it's already about to pass 2 million. Wow. That's kind of wild. I think we did have a lot more for something a little while ago, so I'm not super concerned. I'm not expecting that we're going to sell 2 million prints of this thing, but Beyond the Frontier, definitely kind of popular. Space Command 6, 2.9 right there. Can I have a look at the details for Space Command 6? Has it picked up at all in terms of sales? Not really. It might when this expansion goes out. There's definitely a possibility that that's going to be the case. Same with Sally Stabby Face. We might see a little bit of excitement there, which would be good. And again, we just have a bunch of complaints about people not finding things. I don't care is kind of where I'm at on that. I just don't care. Anyway, it's June now, so we'll go ahead and put Beyond the Frontier out to the people. We'll go ahead and release it. It is 5s across the board, which is great. We'll go ahead and do who is not doing much in the way of marketing right now. We've got all of them quite busy. Marketing 4, perhaps. We could give it to a subsidiary. I wouldn't be against giving it to a subsidiary. I will give it to Lime Digital and see what they can do. Give them, I don't know, 20,000 to market this thing. It is just an expansion, so it should be fine. We'll move that up to here and just see how they do with it. I'm hoping for good things off of Beyond the Frontier. It should be good by all intents and purposes. It's popular. So we'll see what happens there. And I think we'll also bring this number down because we are going to have about 2 million in here. Bring this down to about 200,000 is what we'll go for there. So we shouldn't be printing any of those for a little while, which is great news. And we should see Stabageddon here done pretty much like right now. There we go. All right, so we'll promote that. No bugs to fix. Interesting. Let's announce July. Let's do next month for this guy. Immediately a few thousand followers is great. We'll do a press build, and we're not going to do a press release. We'll just sort of let that sit there and see how it goes. I will say, I'm hoping for good things. We're still making, let's have a little look here, 36.4 million, 43 point something million. We did pay taxes back here, which is fine. So we're doing all right. We're actually quite nicely on the way to $7 billion. And if we look at the rest of the companies out there, currently none of them are worth over $1 billion, which is great. And we have some subsidiaries up here that are actually quite popular, which is beautiful news as well. Or at least they're quite wealthy because I gave them a bunch of money. Looking in here, these guys have December 2027 for their next release. They did 2023 December for an operating system, which apparently is very, very good for them, which is beautiful news. You do love to see it. You like to see the subsidiaries doing quite well for themselves. December 2024, this year for Render Pro 4, they did November 22 for the last one. So they seem to be making money as well. And Lime Digital, June 2025 for Vector Model Premium 5. And let's see, October 23 for Premium 4, which is doing quite well for them as well. My subsidiaries, by the looks of it, doing nicely for themselves. Oh, now here we go for the final time. 3 out of 4 categories. Best employer. Can you imagine if it wasn't me? Best product is not actually me this time. Voxel 10 got second place. That's, who the hell got first? Who is that? That might be one of my subsidiaries. And most profitable was also not me. Hold on a minute. Was that 2 of my subsidiaries? No. One of my subsidiaries, Data Fover. Wait, I don't even think, I think it was Final Interactive just got, hold on a minute. It was, wait, I only got 1 gold. I mean, best employer is not bad, I guess. I mean, we don't have room for it. Hold on a minute. Okay. I wasn't expecting to run out of space on the wall. Where is my audio team? Where is the audio team actually? They are somewhere around here. There we go. So this is, to my knowledge, my office, because I'm the head of the audio team, right? Am I the head of the, what team am I in? Hold on a minute. Let me look at my employees. Where am I? I'm in the audio team. I'm the audio team leader. Okay. We're going to take a risk and we're going to put my awards on my desk for best employer of 2024. And if it gets stolen, I probably had it coming, to be quite honest. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's also check deals here really quickly. Kind of curious to see what we have. We have a bunch of print jobs. We have until December for you. 6.6 million by December might be tricky. 3.6. You know what? I'm going to take the risk with these because I think we can do it. I'm going to bring this number down a little bit. This one's going to come down to about, say, there. And this one is going to come up a little bit. Oh, I don't think I can do both of those. That's interesting. All right. Let's bring the clip art pack down a little bit. Oh, wait, no, that's, I don't think we're printing. I just don't think we have the print capacity to make this happen, which is slightly concerning. Didn't think about that. We'll manage is what we'll do. These guys want the notebook IP for 44.8 million. That's interesting. Is there a way that I can check how profitable an IP has been? That would be kind of interesting. I genuinely don't know if that's a thing I can do, though. We can look at the details and I can't see anything about like IP expenses. That would be a cool feature though. If that was a thing you could look up and see just how profitable a single IP has been. Obviously I can filter by name? I actually can, which is really cool. So this might actually be the way to do it. So Nerdrosoft Notebook as an IP has done $416 million in profits. That's actually very cool. Okay, hold on a minute. Stabby Face. And I also want to look at my archived ones. So if I sort by release date, we have Sergeant Stabby Face, Stabby Face 2 private, then 3, then Sally Stabby Face. Sergeant Stabby Face as an IP has done $1.3 billion. That's really cool. Okay. I didn't really think about doing this before. Space Command has done 1.4, which all things considered, Space Command has more games. So the fact that Sergeant Stabby Face as a franchise is competing with that, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Frame has done $369 million. That's nice. Voxel has done just over $1 billion. You love to see it. We did the first one of those in 2000. Pixel hasn't even done $1 billion yet, which is slightly disappointing because it's a little bit older than everything else. But you know what? 848 million is respectable. Didn't we have Reverb once upon a time? Reverb was the first thing we released. And the 4 of those, even though the last one's called Reverb 3, managed to do $137 million. the company was built on the back of reverb. And then obviously we changed it. We got rid of reverb and we brought in echo. There have been 10 of those since reverb. So what's that? 14 in the audio tool franchise. Interestingly, echo is at $1.6 billion. If you add in the the 100 and something million of reverb, then I think our audio tools might be the most successful type of thing that we've done, which is really, really cool, actually. I don't know what else I would look at. I guess Plumb Bob is worth a shout. It's done 272. That's respectable. I'm okay with that. And I don't really think, oh wait, Sports Ball. We've done 351. You know what? I'm glad that's not the most profitable thing we've done. That would have been embarrassing. But it's cool that I can do that. I've never thought about filtering this stuff before. Anyway, it is the end of June 2024, which means Beyond the Frontier is about to make some money. We are going to be looking at a grand total of hopefully $32 million. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. That's not bad. That is not bad. Stabageddon is reasonably popular. Could be more, but you know what? That's okay. We'll do 100,000 copies of that. And yeah. You know what? Let's release Stabageddon. It's doing fine. We'll give it to a subsidiary to market that. We'll order some copies as well, because I'm okay with that as well. And yeah. 32 million from Beyond the Frontier. That is kind of huge. That is kind of huge. We have another Frame. We have Frame OS 6 going out in December, Echo 11 in September, obviously the last Stab in September after Nebula 2, which has had a lot of bugs fixed as well, which is great news. Not really being followed all that much, but that's probably fine. Apparently my subsidiaries can't do anything for me right now. That's a little bit disappointing, but you know what? We'll just not worry about it. They'll figure, actually, no, you know what? I do want them to do stuff here. Let me look at my marketing teams. I'm just going to give this to everybody for the time being. And Stabageddon is going to be exactly the same thing if that's all of my marketing teams. I could bring in another marketing team, to be quite honest, but I think we'll manage. I think we'll get away with what we've got right now. I'm not expecting much from Nebula 2. I'm hoping for good things from the last Stab, but obviously we'll see what happens there. And we are going to need to update both Nebula 2 and the last Stab as soon as they go out in September. So I guess we'd better get to September, although I would like to see, just before we skip forward in time a little bit, I would like a look at how Stabageddon does. And I do want to see the second month sales of Beyond the Frontier. Keep in mind, that was $20. So it's sold very, very well. If we have a look though, second month on Beyond the Frontier is going to be 16 and Stabageddon was 3. So both, I want to say, relatively respectable. We have a bunch of people on vacation and all of our teams have leaders, even if not everything's being supported. Nebula 2, release the press release. It's hopefully going to get some followers. Updates team. Let's make sure you guys are supporting everything you should be, which is going to be all of this and Sports Bowl 8, because that seems kind of important. And I guess we'll go ahead and, well, I mean, next month is September. And there we go. It is September of 2024. It's the middle of the night, but I'm going to go ahead and get Nebula 2 out the door. We're printing it. We should be fine. I'm going to skip all this. Oh my God. Oh, that's worrying. All right. I'm not going to be ordering 2.8 million copies because that's almost $1 billion to do that. Marketing is going to be, oh man, I'm going to take you guys off of this because you're already quite busy and that'll be fine. The last Stab is going to be released as well. It's doing okay. It's going to be those same marketing teams and 50,000 for you guys. I don't think I gave a marketing budget for Nebula, which is dangerous. We'll go 50,000 on that as well. I don't want to overdo it. What I would like to do is figure out, let's end marketing for you and marketing for you. Those expansions were just sort of little stopgap things to try and get some money. That's totally fine. I need to, let's take you guys off of this and let's do marketing 2, audio and OS. We'll put them on an Xbox 360 because it's sort of an operating system. It's a console. We'll do the same thing here. We'll get these guys working on the controller. So that's going to free up marketing 4 and 5 a little bit. Marketing 5 is doing Sally Stabby Face. Marketing 4 is doing Space Command. I'm going to bring these down in priorities to about a 6 and a 6 because that just makes sense. In fact, Sally Stabby Face will end marketing on that one. And I think we're going to end marketing on Space Command 6 as well. It's doing okay, but I think it's going to coast along a little bit, and I'm sort of okay with that. I don't mind that too much. Now, if we look at these marketing teams 3 and 8, marketing 5, what are they doing right now? Can I have a little bit of a look at my marketing teams and figure that out? They have 8 tasks. If I look in here, that's going to be Nebula 2 and Last Stab. So marketing 5 must be assigned to, have I got them on Sports Game by any chance? I do. Interesting. They're doing post-marketing, I guess, on a whole bunch of Sports Ball, which makes sense, I guess. They're still marketing Sports Ball 3. Interesting. Not really sure why they're doing that, but they're still doing it. Let me take that over and end. Let me, no, Sports Ball 6. I think we'll take that one over as well. Sports Ball 6 here. We'll take that over. What one did I take over? Both of them. Okay. 7 as well. Yeah, we'll take those and just end them, and that'll be all right. I'm tempted to give these guys a dedicated marketing team, but sure, we'll kind of do things that way, and everything should be kind of okay. Now, if we look at our releases, Last Stab is outstanding and inspiring. Nebula 2 is outstanding and inspiring. Prominent marketing, sparse marketing. That's worrying. We do need to update these though. So Last Stab immediately. I want to get my my game dev teams. Every single one of them needs to be working on this update. Bring the networking up to date. Bring the audio up to date. Can I shift click this to get it up to? Apparently not. That's fine. The audio or the 2D editor will be Pixel 13. The 3D editor will be Voxel 10, and the audio tool will be Echo 10, which is fine. Less than a year, we should be able to do this. We'll go ahead and start working on it. Nebula 2 is going to be slightly trickier because I imagine this might take some time. I'm not sure if Nebula 2 is cheap or expensive either, but we'll figure that out. And the teams for this will be 2D, which is fine. I'm also going to put the researchers on this, although they are designers, which might be tricky, but we'll figure that out. We need the 3D team to work on this. We need the hardware and hardware research teams to work on this, which I think can also be the OS team and the console team, since they're not doing anything right now. Systems research is going to be kind of done by everybody. Well, the systems stuff and networking. I mean, we're doing audio. We'll put them in here. And then everything else we'll kind of figure out. That should be enough teams to get this done. So we'll start working on both of those. And I'm hoping that those day one patches can go out in a reasonable amount of time. I'm really hoping we get those done. It looks like the Last Stab is off to a really good start. I'm not 100% sure that Nebula 2 is going to get done in the time that we have. By that, I mean in September 2024, but it looks like the Last Stab will at least be updated, and hopefully that's going to make it a little bit more popular. Hopefully that's going to be in a good place, and hopefully people are going to buy it. It would be nice if it was a runaway success. It would be nice to sort of go out on that high note of having a successful phone and also having a successful, game go out on that phone on day one. That would be nice. That would be really, really nice. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So we'll go ahead and push that update out. And I'm going to put my my game devs on the Nebula update now, because I think we can take game dev 3 off of it. They're working on Sports Ball, but oh wow, that started going so much quicker once I put them in there. Okay, that's fine. Echo 11 has gone out. It's great and visionary, which is interestingly a step down from the last one, although exactly 2 years later. So Fair enough, I guess. Last stab, interestingly, 8.6 million to break even, 23.7 for Nebula, 749 for Echo 11. So we'll see how that goes. Sports Ball 9 made some money. Notebook 8 made some money. Plumbob 8 made some money. Voxel made some money. We're doing all right. We're doing all right is what we're doing. We're definitely doing all right. Now, the real question is, and we can see it, Nebula 2, 15 million, Echo 11, 6, and the last stab, 13.7. That is more than I was expecting. That's a lot more than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting that to flop. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of expecting that to be a lot worse. Okay. So Nebula 2 is doing all right, despite the fact that it's a little bit outdated. Okay. I can live with that. I can live with that. That's, okay. I'm okay. We're doing all right. I'm feeling good. I'm actually feeling pretty good about that. That was a little bit unexpected. I genuinely wasn't expecting it to sort of work. It also seems like unless the support team for Nebula 2 is, yeah, there's a bunch queued. Support 4, I don't think comes in until the evening. So we'll see how many bugs actually get verified. We can hopefully get those fixed as well. The hardware team's definitely, I mean, the hardware is what's slowing this down a little bit. But I'm curious to see once that support team comes in, just how many bugs are actually in this, because we did fix a bunch of them. We had well over 1,000 bugs fixed. So, I mean, yeah, we're getting a bunch of them now, but we will still get those fixed, which is absolutely beautiful news. A little bit disappointing the update's not going to be out today, but it's all right. We'll get it there. It might be a tomorrow thing. It'll be a November 2024 kind of deal by the looks of it, which is totally fine, and I'm totally okay with that. I was not expecting, I mean, we just did even more money this month. So looking up here, last stab, 16 million, Nebula 2, 15 million. I'm actually kind of impressed. I was not expecting Nebula 2 to actually kind of, I wasn't expecting it to work. I wasn't expecting it to be popular. The original Nebula, which is down here, so I can search for it. I need to remember I can do that. The original Nebula never made a profit. It sold 339,000 units, but it never made a profit. Whereas Nebula 2 seems like it might actually manage to do it, which is very cool. I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited for this update to hopefully go out today. That's the goal. Oh, now this is interesting. I failed to print a bunch of stuff, and so my business reputation's gone down a little bit. You know, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll manage. I think we'll live. I have a feeling everything's going to be okay there. So that's not bad. FrameOS 6 has gone out. It is outstanding and inspiring, which is great. I'm hoping it makes money as well. And here's the thing. It is now December of 2024. If we go and look at our employees, I am 64 years old. Bob is 64 years old, and Bella is 64 years old, which means I think that next month the three of us are going to retire, which is sad. I'm not ready for that. The good news is that we did manage to do what we said we were going to do. The last stab is hugely successful, which is amazing news. We could start working on expansions for it. It's very popular. Sports Ball 9, we could make expansions for that as well. We could. I'm not going to, because as I explained in the last episode, if I start making expansions for everything, we will be here all day. There'll be 20 more episodes of this series, and nobody wants that. So I say nobody wants that. I'm fairly sure that we all want to move on to like Airport CEO, right? That's my plan. I'm looking at Airport CEO as sort of the next thing that we do as another yearly series. I'll be honest, it was supposed to start last month, but I got a little carried away playing some other things. So yeah, Blood Bar Tycoon, for example, 2 Point Museum, stuff like, just a couple of little games here and there that people seem to kind of enjoy, that I enjoyed as well. So let's see if we can get this update out today. It needs to go out today. That's the thing. It needs to, because otherwise the founders are going to retire. I don't think this update is going to get done today, which is really, really sad. Bob Newby. Oh my God. Bob! No! Bella! Oh no, that means I'm next. No. We didn't pay them anything, which is great. Oh, no, they're gone. Oh, that means that Game Dev 1 and 2D Editor just lost their leaders. That's coming. We did just pass $7 billion as well. Where is it? Any second now, you're going to see it. That's not me. It's going to happen, though. There it is. Oh, no. Oh, the founders are gone after 45 years at Nerdrosoft. But arguably the most successful version of Nerdrosoft we have ever had. You know what I really enjoy? I enjoy the fact that their estate still owns 1 share in this company worth $78.4 million. Since they invested in the company, whatever money that might have been, the value of their shares has increased by 9,417,188.2%, or is that 94,178,882%? Either way, their shares have gone up quite considerably, is what they have done, which I'm fine with. That is, yeah, that's not bad. That could be worse. Definitely could be worse. This update, unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to get done for Nebula. Pixel 14 has gone out, which is great. Man, oh man, I am, I'm a little sad. I always hate when that happens. I always hate when they retire. I think that's it, right? I think that's what else have we got? I mean, the Nebula 2 update needs to be done, but I'm not going to release anything else. We've lost our key people. We've lost our CEO. We could hire a new one. We could hire someone else, but it's not going to be me. It's not going to be Bob. It's not going to be Bella. So I think Nerdrosoft, I guess, is now a public company. That's how we'll look at it. We could put some, we could sell some shares if we wanted to. We could sell 10 shares, 8.8% of the company for $792 million. That's fair. That's a good amount of money, but I don't think we will. But what we will do is get this Nebula 2 update out the door. It's down below 10 million in profits, but overall, it is just shy of making money, which is amazing. FrameOS 6 has sold terribly. Fair enough. That's fair enough, I guess. Yeah. I guess now we just wait to see what happens with Nebula 2. Is this update going to be any good for it? I don't know. For the updates team, we're going to go in here. We're going to give them the last stab and Nebula 2 and Pixel and FrameOS and Echo 10. We'll go ahead and take out, I don't know, Sports Ball 4 and 6 can come out of there. We'll take out Plumbub 6. We'll take out Sports Ball 5. And that should be fine. That's what we're going to do. That is, I think that's about all we got. I think that's about the end of this version of Nerdrosoft is what it's going to be. It's weird. It's weird. I feel like this series, I did have a look recently. I don't think this is actually the longest series of Software Inc. that we've done, but it's up there. And it feels, I think it is longer in overall time because we've had several hour-plus long episodes. So I think in terms of time to spend watching this and time spent playing this has wound up being one of the longer series of the game, which is really cool. We don't have a CEO. You can assign a new one from an employee's detail window. We can assign a new CEO. Interesting. Who has been at this company for the longest now? I don't care about the fire inspection. Brock Myers has been here for 40 years. He's 61 years old. I don't think I want to put someone that's going to retire in 3 years as our CEO. I think realistically, we need someone that's been here for a while that's also like, 55. But I feel like we should also get like a team leader, right? So who is, I guess Michael Espinoza would probably be a good shout. He's game dev one night. So he's been involved in a lot of the big successes of the company. So Michael here would effectively be the right pick for CEO. I think that would be interesting. He's also 55, so he's got another 9 years at the company, which is not bad. Yeah, I want to say that's probably our pick, right? I want to say Michael is, I don't think it matters. Sure. Congratulations, Michael. You're now the CEO of the company. That's fine. Sure. That's fine. That's totally fine. Oh, I'm a little sad. I am a little sad. I definitely am a little sad. I will say Nebula 2 shot up a little bit in terms of money. So I think that's going to do us, is what it's going to do. I think that's going to be us for this series of Softwaring, this year's installment of Softwaring. It's been good. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed this series. I hope you have as well. This building in one way, shape, or form will be up on the Steam Workshop in the very near future. It won't be up as this video is going out, but stay tuned to my socials, which will be linked in the description, and to the community Discord server, because I will announce when it's out over there as well as on my socials. But that is going to do us for today and for this year's season of Softwaring. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has genuinely been such a pleasure. As always, as it always is, this has been an absolute pleasure. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.